FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
I guess I'd begin by saying, to emphasize the distinction between the rhetoric behind the American model and the reality. There was a lot of free market rhetoric. I think neoliberalism is a doctrine, market fundamentalism is dead. I think that's clear. I mean, I've actually remarked that this September has been to market fundamentalism what the fall of the Berlin Wall was to communism. We all knew that those ideas were flawed, that the free market ideology didn't work. We all knew that communism didn't work, but these were defining moments that made it clear that it didn't work. But America really has a system that I would describe, especially over the last 8 years, as a kind of corporatism, corporate welfarism, if you want to call it, under the guise of free market economics. And it's that mixture which was fundamentally flawed, was incoherent, was intellectually bankrupt from the beginning, that has been shown not to work. But there are going to be some very serious consequences of that. 10, 11 years ago, when there was the East Asia crisis, the US Treasury and the IMF went into East Asia and said, talked about lack of transparency, talked about the need for good regulation and good corporate governance. I don't think if they did that today, everybody would laugh. So I think our credibility is zero in doing this. I mean, just a few months, not long ago, just a year ago, Paulson was in India lecturing them about how to run their financial system. It's absurd. But if you watch, and I'll switch a little bit to the political side, the way this administration has managed this bailout. If I were the chief economist at the World Bank, and this were a third world banana republic, I would say, no loans to this country. This country is corrupt. This country is, the bailouts are non-transparent. You know, that bill, that 3-page bill for $700 billion with no oversight and no judicial review, the nerve of somebody to present that is just amazing. But fortunately, our Congress did exercise a little oversight and stop it. But you look at what has happened, and you compare what the British got when they put equity injection, into their banking system, the oversight.
Why do you call it equity injection? Why don't you call it nationalized?
Well, it's a partial nationalization. But it's only a partial nationalization. They got 2 votes. We had an equity injection. We got 0 votes.
I know.
You can't have a nationalization where you don't run anything. And at least they said, in Britain, they said, if the taxpayers are going to pour money into these banks, we should make sure they don't pour money out to the shareholders. Paulson said, oh no, go ahead and pour the money out as we pour it in.